education system in Zimbabwe is on the verge of a very big crisis. A very big crisis is already looming. The reports that we have gathered from the four corners of this country through the Zimbabwe Teachers Association representatives who attended the meeting today in Harare, there is overwhelming evidence that teachers are failing to make ends meet. The wages have been stolen as a result of inflation. There is a clear case of incapacitation as more and more teachers are failing to make it to work. Prices have gone up, inflation has gone up 300%, and most of the commodities that the teachers would like to access cannot be accessed. Some of the shops have resorted to limiting some of the items to 1 or to 2, or they cannot be accessed at all. In some cases, other goods are requiring foreign currency, which is US dollar, which the teachers cannot find. So, as a result, a big demand has been made by the Zimbabwe Teachers Association and like-minded organizations through the social dialogue process that is going on for teachers to be paid in United States dollars. This is the only way that will guarantee that the value of the salary of the educators, of the teachers in this country, will be restored. Where we sit, where we stand as an organization, as the Zimbabwe Teachers Association, we would like to protect the education system. We would like a smooth flow of operations in all the schools. We would like well-remunerated and well-motivated teachers in these schools, and government must make this a priority. We are warning government, because it is said forewarned is forearmed. Government, you have an opportunity in the budget that is coming, an opportunity to prioritize education, an opportunity to pay teachers salaries that are commensurate with the work that they do, a salary which is based on United States dollars, a salary whose value is going to afford a living wage to the educators that we are talking about. So this demand is informed by the reality which is on the ground. This demand is informed by the passion that we have for education. And so government must take this very seriously, that there are dire consequences which are associated with incapacitation. We realized in 2008, when the teachers were incapacitated, a very bad situation unfolded in the education system, and a complete closure of the education system then took place. We do not want this to happen. This can be averted. This can be averted by making sure that there's a cost of living adjustment on the salaries of the teachers as a matter of agency. This can be averted if the issues to do with motivation of the teachers, if the 2018 bonus is going to be paid, this is going to be averted if priority is going to be given to education in terms of the allocations that are going to be provided in the budget for 2019 that is going to be presented in the next 2 weeks. This is going to be averted if government is going to listen to this, and if government is going to be responsible enough to respond by budgeting, giving priority to education and health care. So forewarned is forearmed. There is an opportunity for government to get this right. If this doesn't happen, a very serious and sad situation will obtain in this country in terms of industrial relations. What will happen is that the teachers will fail to go to school. What will happen is that teachers will resort to moonlighting, doing other small odd jobs, finding alternative ways of raising money to take care of their families. This state of incapacitation is worse than industrial action. It is a sad development that we saw crippling education and the educational institutions in 2008, and we would not like this to be repeated. So please, our plea, our demand to government is please take heed of this clarion call. Attend to these issues that are being raised by educators. Attend to these issues and make sure that the processes of collective bargaining that are going on are expedited so that we can avoid a crisis in the education. One of the things that we have been fighting for over the years is the professionalization of teachers. And we celebrated in 1999 when the Commission of Inquiry into Education and Training made one of the serious recommendations around the formation of a teaching Professions Council in this country. To date, that has not been done, and that is a sad state of affairs for Zimbabwe. Because nationally, there is consensus among us coming from the education sector that there should be a Teaching Professions Council. So we demand, as a matter of urgency, that this Teaching Professions Council be provided for, that legal provisions be in place through the Education Act that are going to give effect to the formation of this Teaching Professions Council. Teaching is a profession. Teaching doesn't have to be deprofessionalized because then government has a knack for employing people who are not qualified and who are not trained. We have to protect this noble profession. We have to make sure that everybody who gets into the classroom is qualified. If we have to effect education as a right, then we have to know that we need to put qualified teachers in front of every classroom in order to give effect to that particular right. So the call that we are making this time is that we have put deadlines in place. We mustn't get to the end of the year before we have a Teaching Professions Council in place. The Education Act has to be amended in order to give effect to the Teaching Professions Council. While we realized that there was progress that was taking place and representatives from our different associations participating, we lament the lack of agency in the whole matter. These issues have to be expedited. And as we get to the close of the year, we must have put finality on the Teaching Professions Council. And we protect the teaching profession. Once we do that, it should be very clear to government and everybody in the community that teachers have to be properly remunerated and motivated. This is the best way to ensure that we have an inclusive education, we have quality education in this country.